It's the most powerful show on television. High drama with intense energy. A show dedicated to a few brave souls who risk their lives for the sake of their craft. Its in-depth reporting goes to the core and unlocks the mysteries behind today's raciest sport. Motorsports. Catch it when you can.
Speed Station welcomes you back to Mansfield Speedway for the running of the Chevrolet Accessories 400. And for race analysis of today's event, we have 160 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 40, Stage 2 on lap 80. Kurt Busch wins his first pole of the year above Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Matt Benedetto, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson returning the Cup Series competition for the combination team LGR Crosley, Ross Chastain in 7th, Denny Hamlin in 8th, Kyle Busch in 9th, and Martin Truex Jr. round out the top 10. And those who failed to make it are Garrett Smithley, Joey Gase, Timmy Hill, Ryan Truex, B.J. McLeod, and Quinn Houff.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Green flag for the inaugural Chevrolet Accessories 400. And as we saw in the Legends race, the inside line is dominant, with Kurt Busch getting a great advantage above second position qualifier Ryan Blaney. Brad Keselowski driving up into second position. Chase Elliott has just taken up third off the 12. And Kurt Busch will lead lap 1 as Kyle Busch on the inside of his teammate Denny Hamlin goes 3 wide into turn number 1 to move up into 7th position. Now Keselowski right on the back bumper of Kurt Busch down the back straightaway, takes a look onto the inside of the 1. Moves him up off the inside line at the stripe. I believe it was still Kurt Busch to lead that lap, but Brad Keselowski will take the lead as they exit turn number 2. Kyle Busch has moved his way up into 4th position after pulling off several 3-wide moves down on the inside, and Alex Bowman runs in 5th. Bit of a stack up right here with Kevin Harvick stuck in the middle, being passed on the inside by William Byron. Now Larson to his inside, 4 wide as they exit turn number 2. The 32 car gets turned around, Logano up on top the wall. As more cars pile in, Jimmy Johnson is well involved. Yellow flag is out. In the race back to the flag, it was Brad Keselowski above Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott. Well, this track widens out but then funnels down as they exit the corners. As you see, they're going 4 wide. The 12 car of Blaney clips into the 32 of Corey LaJoie, pushing the 22 car up on top of the outside wall. Then Jimmy Johnson plows into the 12. Cole Custer trying to avoid it. Gets rammed by the 96 of Drew Herring. The 81 car gets involved in this. Second in points, Chase Briscoe gets involved in it as well. Ty Dillon has severe front end damage and a massive stack up down the back straightaway. And out of that incident on the back straightaway, the only car out of the race will be the 13 car of Ty Dillon. Now granted, he is somewhat of a short track ace, but it is quite impressive to see Ryan Preece currently running in 8th position. Green flag. There you see Larson on the inside of the 24 car of William Byron moving up into the 9th position. And Kyle Busch on the inside of Chase Elliott trying to take up 3rd. Busch has taken up the spot. Elliott's teammate Alex Bowman follows suit to move up into 4th. It looks like Chris Buescher will move up into 5th position with Kurt Busch. Take a look on the inside of the 2 car of Keselowski for the lead. Kurt Busch is now back out front. Caution flag is out. Kurt Busch is your leader above Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, and Chris Buescher. More 4 wide off turn 2 as the 43 and 42 cars squeeze up into the 34, turning the 43 car around down the back straightaway. Looks like he does not hit anything except gets a little bit of rear end damage from the 96 of Drew Herring. Green flag. Kyle Busch tried taking a look on the inside of the 2 car of Keselowski Ends up being cut off as they exit turn number 2. Now Keselowski taking a look on the inside of Kurt Busch, trying to force him up off the bottom. The 2 cars to his inside. At the stripe, it is Kurt Busch to lead that lap, but it looks like Brad Keselowski will take the lead as they enter turn number 1. Now the Busch brothers battle side by side. It looks like Kyle Busch will take second spot off his brother. But Bowman trying to take him 3 wide, now back down to 2 wide. As the 88 car is on the inside of the 18, Alex Bowman will take up second position. The 57 car of Kyle Larson currently runs in 5th spot, getting around the 9 of Chase Elliott. Now Kurt Busch back to the inside of the 18. With a run on the 88, trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone as the 1 car takes up second. The 57 hoping to follow suit into the 3rd spot. Looks like he'll take 4th off of Kyle Busch. I don't think he'll be able to get on the inside of the 88. But all that battling for those few positions has let Brad Keselowski get an 0.8 of a second gap above 2nd spot Kurt Busch. Alex Bowman to the inside of Kurt Busch once again. And Bowman will take up the spot. Ross Chastain, getting around the 18 car of Kyle Busch, has just cracked the top 5. Now Larson to the inside of the 88. And Larson will take up second position. You see that 57 car, it's actually a Roush Fenway affiliate. Now Kurt Busch down to the inside of his former teammate Larson. And Busch will take up a spot. William Byron just moved your reigning champion Clint Bowyer up off the bottom to take up the 5th position. Now the separation between 1st and 2nd is 1.3 seconds, separating the 2 and 1 cars. Now Truex Jr. to the inside of William Byron. Truex will take up the 5th spot. Looks like Clint Bowyer will follow suit into 6th. Larson back to the inside of Alex Bowman. The 57 car will take up the 3rd position. Your top 5 at the moment is Brad Keselowski above Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, and Martin Truex Jr. battle for the 4th position. And it looks like Truex will take up the spot. Clint Bowyer hoping to get up on the inside of that 88 to challenge him for 5th. And Bowyer has the position. Now less than 10 laps to go in stage 1. Now Denny Hamlin to the inside of Clint Bowyer. That will move Hamlin up into 5th position. As you see, a little bit of rear end damage on the 11 car of Hamlin. That was from checking up and being rammed in that early incident. Take a look at Tyler Ankrum right now in the 87 car for Nemco Motorsports. Currently runs in 18th position right behind Kevin Harvick. Martin Truex Jr. has just gotten around Kyle Larson to move up into the 3rd position. Denny Hamlin follows suit up into 4th. 5 laps to go. The gap between 1st and 2nd is 1.73 seconds. Kyle Busch on the inside of Clint Bowyer. Those 2 battle for the 6th spot. Now Denny Hamlin to the inside of his teammate Martin Truex Jr. And Denny Hamlin will take up 3rd position. Kyle Larson just followed Denny Hamlin on the inside line to move up into 4th spot. And coming off the 4th corner, Brad Keselowski sees the white flag in stage 1. And Keselowski will take the green and white checkered flags for stage 1 above Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, and Martin Truex Jr. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by Built by Me Chassis and Engine Parts, by Smeat Heat, the real canned meat paste, and by Start and Park, the official motel brand of NASCAR. We have 1 driver on pit road, that being Matt DiBenedetto, who pits in 11th position, and he will cycle out the last car on the lead lap, which is in 40th spot. Green flag for stage 2. Keselowski gets a pretty good jump above Kurt Busch as they went off into turn number 1, but Busch gets a runoff 2. Moves Keselowski up off the bottom, challenging him for the lead. At the stripe, it was Keselowski to lead that lap, but Kurt Busch will take the lead as they enter turn number 1. Looks like Keselowski will be able to file into the inside line before Hamlin can challenge him for the second position. The 8 car of Tyler Reddick has stalled on pit road. Not really sure what the issue is on Reddick, but because he is not stalled on the racetrack, we will have no caution as the 2 car goes to the inside of Kurt Busch to retake the lead. Your Stage 1 winner is back out front. Denny Hamlin now challenging the 1 car of Busch for second spot. The 19 car of Truex on the inside of Larson. That will move Truex up into 4th spot. Kyle Busch now to the inside of the 19. That will move the 18 car up into 4th spot. Now Larson back to the inside of Truex. But we have a battle for the lead forming with the 1 car to the inside of the 2. Now 3 wide with Hamlin making the move on the inside. Kurt Busch led at the stripe. But washes up the racetrack, forces the 2 car out of this battle, and Denny Hamlin is now your leader. Brad Keselowski will file up into 2nd position. You see that they got Reddick's car refired, and he is back out on the racetrack, hogging the inside line from 2nd and 3rd position, Keselowski and Busch. Kyle Larson is back up into 4th position, with Kyle Busch falling down to 6th, Martin Truex Jr. up into 5th. The 37 car of Ryan Brees is on the inside of Clint Boyer. This is the battle for 7th, with Brees taking up the spot. There you see Christopher Bell running in 9th position in the 95. Now the 2 car back to the inside of Hamlin. And Brad Keselowski, your Stage 1 winner, is now back out front. Martin Truex Jr. now challenging Kyle Larson for the 3rd spot. Truex will take up the position. Kurt Busch fell all the way down to 5th after being blocked by the lap car of Reddick. Kyle Larson has been put up onto the high side, has fallen down to 6th spot, with Kurt Busch battling the 19 car for 3rd position. And Kurt Busch will take up the spot. Kyle Busch has just taken up 4th spot off of his teammate Truex. Now Hamlin trying to make a move onto the inside of the 2. Can't quite get the run he needs coming off of these corners as we take halfway in Stage 2. Keselowski washed up off the bottom. Hamlin to his inside. And Denny Hamlin is now back out front. Kurt Busch has moved up into 3rd. Martin Truex Jr. getting around Kyle Busch to move up into 4th. Matt Kenseth is on pit road. Not sure if that's trying to short pit to win the stage or if that is an emergency stop. But the 2 car of Keselowski back to the inside of Hamlin. And Keselowski will retake the lead. Now Brad does have to deal with lap traffic though, with Jimmy Johnson and Drew Herring not very far away from the 2 car. Matt Kenseth just brought the car off pit road. He is 2 laps down now behind race leader Brad Keselowski. He did have a flat tire, which was why they had to pit the 42. Well, Keselowski now moves to the inside of the lap car of Jimmy Johnson. He will get by the 48 cleanly, and it looks like Drew Herring will move out of his way as well. So now we have 10 laps to go in Stage 2. The separation between 1st and 2nd is 0.8 of a second. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. to the inside of Kyle Busch. These 2 have been battling for many, many laps now. That will move Truex up into 4th spot. Kurt Busch still resides in 3rd position, although he is 2 seconds behind race leader Keselowski. There's the lap car of Daniel Suarez in front of Keselowski. He has not been having a very good day so far because of that early race incident that he got involved in. Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell battle for the 6th spot. It looks like Elliott will take up the position. And right in front of Keselowski is a large gaggle of lap cars. About 8 of them in total, but we only have less than 1 mile to go in Stage 2. I don't think it's going to play much of a factor. And Keselowski takes the white flag for Stage 2. Oh, almost 4 wide with the lap cars. They managed to hang on to it. Keselowski managed to get around Stenhouse and Logano to put them all laps down. And Brad Keselowski will win Stage 2, sweeping the stages at Mansfield above Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by Built by Me Chassis and Engine Parts, by Smeat Heat, the real canned meat paste, and by Start & Park, the official motel brand of NASCAR. Alright, so it looks like all the lead lap cars are hitting pit road this time by, splitting the race in half. Well, I said that all lead lap cars were pitting, but that's with the exception of only one, Matt DiBenedetto. As you may recall, he pitted quite a bit earlier and can definitely go longer on fuel than most of the people who had to pit right now. The first car off pit road is Denny Hamlin getting out in front of Keselowski, then Martin Truex Jr. and Kurt Busch. So now Matt DiBenedetto will lead the field back to green with 3 lap cars separating him from second place Denny Hamlin, and then 1 lap car separating Hamlin from third position Keselowski. And there's the green flag for the final stage. Denny Hamlin tries jumping onto the outside of the lap car of Landon Cassill. Now Martin Truex Jr. sends him 3 wide into turn number 1. That will move Truex up into the third position. Kurt Busch is on pit road. I believe that they have a loose wheel on the 1 car. Very unfortunate break for Busch. Martin Truex Jr. has just gotten around Denny Hamlin to move up into second position. But still, many lap cars separate him from the leader, Matt DiBenedetto. Keselowski just went 3 wide into turn number 1 to get around Denny Hamlin. That will move the 2 car up into 4th spot. And because of that loose wheel, Kurt Busch is now 1 lap down and could possibly fall 2 laps down. Race leader Matt DiBenedetto is battling with Matt Kenseth to try and put the 42 car back down 1 more lap. That means that there are only 2 lap cars separating first and second, DiBenedetto and Truex. Bubba Wallace in the 43 car has just driven his way up into 9th position, getting around Denny Hamlin, who was stuck up on the high line for many laps. Hamlin has fallen down to 14th position. And Martin Truex Jr. has just gotten around Matt DiBenedetto to retake the lead in the 19 car. Brad Keselowski just got around Chase Elliott. That moves the 2 car up into 3rd spot. And on a bit of a tire deficit, I wonder how well Matt DiBenedetto is going to be able to hang on to 2nd position with a charging Keselowski. Now the lap car of Kenseth to the inside of DiBenedetto, trying to get a setup on the 19 car to try and unlap himself once again. But taking advantage of this is Brad Keselowski in the 2 car. Looks like he will take up 2nd. Chase Elliott trying to follow suit in the 3rd. And now the top 5 cars run within 1.6 seconds of the leader. Yellow flag is out. I believe we had another spin. Might have been Jimmy Johnson. The race leader is Martin Truex Jr. above Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Matt DiBenedetto, and Kyle Larson. Oh, and Kenseth just got turned around by Keselowski under caution. Wonder what that was about. So coming off turn number 2, the 47 car gets into the side of the 48. Spinning him around, little bit of rear end damage. You know, I don't know about the folks at home, but I've been extremely impressed with the performance of Chris Buescher this season. Currently runs within the top 10 in points, hasn't made too much noise, hasn't gotten himself in trouble very much this year, and a great resurgence by the 17 car with their new driver. The 99 car of Chase Briscoe is hitting pit road once again as the pace car hits pit road. I believe that is to repair some extra damage. Green flag. Truex did not get a very good jump on that restart as the 42 car of Kenseth tried to take a look on the inside of him. Now Kenseth forces the 19 car up off the bottom. Looks like Brad Keselowski is going to follow him. That will mean Kenseth gets one of his laps back. He is now 2 laps down, but not on Keselowski's watch, as the new race leader puts Kenseth back to 3 laps down. Now Chase Elliott onto the inside of Keselowski. And Chase Elliott in the 9 car is now your leader at Mansfield. Well, we have trouble in the back. A car has gone around, and we are back under caution. Chase Elliott is your leader above Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Busch. Well, we've had the 2 most aggressive drivers probably in NASCAR of recent memory make aggressive 4-wide moves this weekend. Jimmy Spencer did, and the Legends race. Now Ryan Newman does it to Austin Dillon, spinning him around down the back straight. You know, so far it looks like this is going to be a very good points day for Ryan Blaney, as he currently runs in 11th position. and his competitors for the point lead include Joey Logano and Chase Briscoe. Briscoe currently runs 3 laps down in 39th position, and Joey Logano runs 1 lap down in 28th. So as long as Ryan Blaney does not drop out of the event, he appears to have extended his point lead. Just like we mentioned last week at Auto Club, Chase Elliott has not won a Cup Series race since Homestead, Miami 2019. That was in March of that year. It's been well over a year now since the 9 car's been in victory lane. Green flag. Take a note of your top 3 runners right now. Bill France Jr. would love this. It's a Chevrolet, Toyota, and Ford. Now Martin Truex Jr. forces Elliott up off the bottom. The 19 car of Truex is back out front. Kyle Larson trying to take advantage of Elliott being up on the middle line. That will move Larson up into second. Now Keselowski takes a look on the inside of the 57. That will move the 2 car back up into second. Kyle Busch on the inside line, trying to take up third off Larson. And he has the spot. Here comes Keselowski to the inside of the 19. And Brad Keselowski is back out front. Kyle Busch hoping to follow suit around his teammate Truex to take up second spot. He has the position, but he already takes a look to the inside of Keselowski. The 2 and 18 cars battle side by side down the back straight. But Kyle Busch will take up the lead as they exit turn number 4. But Keselowski dives into turn number 3, forces the 18 car up off the inside line. And it looks like Brad Keselowski will take the lead back with just 40 laps to go in the final stage. But Truex actually pushes him up off the bottom. Martin Truex Jr. is your leader at the stripe. Chase Elliott already debating a move into turn number 1, moving the 19 car up off the bottom. Elliott is back out front, and we have 4 cars under a blanket for the lead. Elliott, your leader. The 18 car of Busch retakes third spot. Using the inside line, it looks like he will take up second. Don't forget Larson. He is still in this mix, only about 9/10 behind the race leader, on the inside of Martin Truex Jr., trying to take up fourth. Kyle Busch to the inside of Elliott. And Kyle Busch is now your leader at Mansfield. Larson trying to get a look on the inside of Brad Keselowski. They make slight contact. And now Larson is up into third spot. The 9 car of Elliott takes a look onto the inside of Kyle Busch. The 18 car leads that lap. But into turn 1, it is Chase Elliott retaking the lead. Larson running in third is being challenged by the 2 car of Keselowski on the inside. Keselowski back up into third spot. Looks like Truex will take up fourth. There's Hamlin and Blaney battling side by side for the 6th position. Hamlin takes up the spot, both with almost equal rear end damage. Truex setting up a move on the inside of Keselowski. That will move the 19 car up into third. Chase Elliott slipped up off the bottom, let the 18 of Kyle Busch onto his inside. At the stripe, it is Kyle Busch to lead lap 130. And now Larson to the inside of the 19. Kyle Larson will retake third spot. Kyle Busch being challenged by Chase Elliott into turn number 3. Elliott runs the corner a little bit wide, forcing the 18 car up the hill. And now Chase Elliott is now back out front. Denny Hamlin on the inside of Brad Keselowski will move up into third spot. And Ryan Blaney, your point leader, making aggressive moves on the inside of the 57 and 19 to move up into fourth. Now Kyle Busch to the inside of Chase Elliott. Kyle Busch is back out front. Denny Hamlin trying to take advantage of the 9 car on the top. Hamlin dives into turn 3, and the 11 car is up into second. We have close to a 7-car battle for the win right now. All the 11 and 18 cars touch coming off of turn number 2. Hamlin on Kyle Busch's inside. Denny Hamlin in the 11 is now out front. The 9 car of Elliott follows suit up into second. Kyle Larson in the 57 has just taken up 4th off of Martin Truex Jr., but Larson slips up off the bottom and lets the 12 car of Blaney on his inside. Don't these two leading at a short track seem a little bit familiar? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, Martinsville 2017, as Chase Elliott takes a look onto the inside of Denny Hamlin. The 9 car of Elliott is now back out front. The 2 car just got around the 19 car for the 4th position, with the 57 challenging Truex now on the inside for 5th. Hamlin now back down to the inside of the 9. We are seeing some great side-by-side racing right now. And at the stripe, it was still Elliott to lead that lap with just 20 laps to go. But Denny Hamlin will take the lead as they exit turn number 2. Now Kyle Busch back up into this mix. Martin Truex Jr. just forced the 57 up off the bottom. That will move the 19 car back up into 5th. Currently, your top 5 is Hamlin above Elliott, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, and Martin Truex Jr. And now Denny Hamlin is going to start running into a few lap cars of the 96, 00, and 48 within the next 10 or so laps. Kyle Busch hounding the 9 car for 2nd spot, trying to dive it into turn number 3 and force Chase Elliott up off the inside line. Kyle Busch has taken up 2nd. The 43 car of Bubba Wallace currently runs in 7th spot, behind 2017 Cup champion Martin Truex Jr. Great run going right now for RPM. The gap between 1st and 2nd has been extended to 7/10, separating the 11 and 18. Denny Hamlin tries passing the lap car of Jimmy Johnson on the outside. That's not the preferred racing groove. That's going to let Kyle Busch gain a little bit of ground. The 11 and 48 make contact. Johnson almost blocking Hamlin. Maybe that's trying to help Chase Elliott as the 9 car gets around Kyle Busch to move up into 2nd. Now the separation is within half a second, separating the 11 and 9 with just 10.5 laps to go. Kyle Busch back to the inside of Chase Elliott. Busch will take up the 2nd position. Still a JGR 1-2. Now 3 wide on the inside as Brad Keselowski takes the spot off the 9 car of Elliott. We have a car blowing up. That's the 81 of Brandon Jones, and the yellow flag is out. Caution has fallen on the speedway with Denny Hamlin, your leader, above Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, and Martin Truex Jr. And as you obviously saw, Brandon Jones blew up and had to make an evasive move down pit road, but about 20 laps ago, which we forgot to mention, Corey LaJoie dropped out of the race for a suspension failure. And just like the recent Legends race here at Mansfield, we're going to have a 2-lap green-white checkered restart to decide the finish. There's only 1 lap car separating 1st and 2nd positions, Hamlin and Busch, that being Drew Herring in the 96. Green flag. Kyle Busch already jumps to the inside of the 96, getting around the lap car of Herring, but Hamlin got a very good jump above the 18. And off turn number 4, Hamlin sees the white flag at Mansfield as the 2 car challenges the 18 on the inside for 2nd. Brad Keselowski takes up the 2nd spot, although he's about half a second behind Hamlin and not going to be able to challenge him for the victory. Denny Hamlin brings it off turn number 4 to win the inaugural Cup Series event at Mansfield. Denny Hamlin wins it above Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Larson finishing in 6th in the LGR Crosley team's first ever start. Ryan Blaney finishes 7th, Chris Buescher in 8th, Clint Boyer in 9th, and Ryan Newman round out the top 10. Ryan Blaney extends his point lead out to 18 points above Denny Hamlin, who climbed up 5 positions in the standings to 2nd in points. Joey Logano stays in 3rd, Clint Boyer stays in 4th. Martin Truex Jr. climbs all the way to 5th, moving up 6 spots in the standings. Chase Briscoe falls down 4 spots to 6th. Chris Buescher moves up to 7th. Matt DiBenedetto down to 8th. Ross Chastain down to 9th. And Kevin Harvick stays in 10th. And then the playoff standings, no one else is locked into the playoffs because we had a repeat winner with Hamlin winning his 2nd race of the year. Then in the playoff cutoff line, you see Chase Briscoe only 42 points above, Chris Buescher 41 above, Chastain 33 above. Ryan Newman just 2 points above with Kyle Busch 2 points out. Kurt Busch 29 out, Eric Jones 34 points out, and Jimmy Johnson is 46 points out of the cutoff. The next race is the Quaker State 400 from Kentucky Motor Speedway, beginning the summer stretch to make or break any driver's playoff chances. Catch it all right here on the Speed Station.